Hey there again, hope you're doing well.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. We love getting into the nitty-gritty, and well, this time we're going deep on something that has a lot of you super hyped.
Oh, yeah.
The return of 28 years later.
Absolutely.
It's been quite a wait.
It really has.
18 years since we last saw this world, and 28 weeks later. Yeah. And wow, you guys have sent us a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Articles, interviews.
Even that poster drop.
So let's break down what we know about this highly anticipated sequel.
I think what's so exciting about this is it's not just a standalone film.
Yeah.
We're talking about a full-blown trilogy here. Kicking off with 28 years later, hitting theaters June 20th, 2025.
Yeah, June 2025 can't come soon enough.
Nope.
And that tagline on the poster, "Time didn't heal anything," already sending chills down my spine.
Oh, yeah.
And now with 28 years later, we're not dealing with the immediate aftermath of an outbreak.
Great.
We're looking at a world that's been living with this for decades.
Exactly. How have societies adapted? What new threats have emerged?
Oh, right.
And maybe most importantly, how has the human psyche been altered after living with such prolonged fear and uncertainty?
Okay, so before we get into those big questions, let's talk about what we actually know about 28 years later from the sources you've been looking at. What are some of the key plot details that have been revealed so far?
Well, from what we've gathered, it looks like we're going back to Britain, still grappling with the aftermath of the rage virus.
Okay.
But this time, the focus is on a new generation of survivors. Ralph Fiennes gave an interview where he talked about a storyline involving a young boy desperately searching for a doctor to save his dying mother.
Wow, that already sounds heart-wrenching. Now, there's one detail that really caught my eye, and I'm sure it caught yours too. The fact that Danny Boyle shot the entire film on iPhones.
Shooting on iPhones?
I know.
That's a bold move for a film of this scale, wouldn't you say?
It's wild.
But from what we've read, Boyle is aiming for a raw, almost documentary-like feel. He wants to put the audience right in the middle of the action.
Wow, iPhones. That's wild.
It's not just about the action and the scares. It's about exploring what it means to be human in the face of unimaginable circumstances.
And it can't be ignored that this film is coming out in a world that's actually experienced a global pandemic. Do you think that will add an extra layer of resonance for the audience?
Absolutely. 28 days later was already tapping into those primal fears of societal collapse and the fragility of our systems.
Right.
But now, after living through a pandemic ourselves, those themes are going to hit even closer to home.
There's that line from the poster again, "Time didn't heal anything." It makes you think about the long-term trauma, not just for individuals, but for entire societies. And we can't forget about the new characters like Jodie Comer potentially representing a community that's found a way to survive and maybe even thrive.
Right. I'm particularly excited to see how the younger generation, those born after the outbreak, are portrayed.
Okay.
They've never known anything other than this reality, and their perspectives are going to be so unique.
It reminds me of that line from Cormac McCarthy's The Road, where the father says to his son, "You were carrying the fire."
Oh, yeah.
There's a sense of responsibility and hope that's passed down to the next generation, even in the darkest of times.
That's a beautiful connection. And it speaks to the themes that 28 years later seems to be exploring legacy resilience and the enduring power of the human spirit.
We've talked a lot about the deeper themes and the societal impact, but let's be real, this is still a zombie movie. I think that's why the 28 franchise has resonated with audiences for so long. It's not just about zombies and scares. It's about exploring what it means to be human in a world that's constantly testing our limits.
And with 28 years later, we're entering a whole new chapter of that exploration, one that promises to be even more complex, terrifying, and ultimately thought-provoking.